Today on Contractor Fight TV, I'm going to talk about one super simple strategy for you to be able to make more money as a contractor. Let's go! All right, raise your hands. Not that I can see you, but raise your hands if you can identify with this. You're running around, you got all this work, you got this job going, you got this job going, you got this job going, you've had a record sales month, and then when it all shakes out, you realize you didn't make any fucking money. I've been there. There was a point in time where I'd probably have 7 or 8 different projects going on at once. At this time that I'm thinking of, I only had 3 foremen out in the field. So that means a couple of them were running multiple jobs. I was stepping in, and it was frequent for me to be like trying to meet customers' needs. People had time schedules or time deadlines, and I would call one of my foremen. I'm like, hey, can you send so-and-so over to this house and prime this real quick? You know, today it shouldn't take too long. And then what would he do? He'd pull him off that job and he'd drive his ass over there, and then he'd prime it for a few hours and finish the day there. Or maybe he'd get back in his truck and drive back to the job that he started on. And this was happening all over the place. And a lot of bad things. If you have any idea about math and money, you're probably sitting there going, yeah, you were fucked, dude. Well, you were right, I was, because we were doing crazy amounts of work, but we weren't making the money that we planned on making, and it was really because of this one simple strategy I'm going to share here right now. One of the biggest thieves of you making money as a contractor is you are not embracing this idea of the job I'm on now has to get 100% of my focus. You do get to a point where you could do multiple jobs, but not until you have your shit dialed in, guys, and even that still applies. If I have a foreman, he's on this job. You could have 100 foremen, and they should all be on 100 jobs, okay? Shouldn't be running more than one job at a time in most cases. Very few people can pull this off successfully. So for those of you that are struggling, wondering why you're not keeping more of the money that you're selling, I want you to look at just how you're running projects right now. Are you starting another job before you finish this job? Because when you do that, it's cutting into your efficiencies. Like the example I gave before, hey, can you send this guy to this project over here? I never figured in the drive time. Okay? I didn't figure in the inefficiency of the drive time and then him having to set up. Maybe he had to go to the vendor and get some supplies or some paint or whatever it might be on his way there because we hadn't planned it. This is why it's so important to pre-plan your work. I want you to keep this in mind, that the job you're on now deserves your very best. And that is also going to help you in the long run from a marketing perspective of building your brand, providing a better experience for your clients, in addition to raising your profit on every single job because you're going to be more efficient. So one of the ways that you can do this, guys, is pre-job cost your projects. I'm going to drop a link here for you later on in a minute or two. But one of the things we would do is when I would bid a project, I would go, okay, what crew is going to be on this job and what's going to happen each day of the job? Yes, we would actually take the time to plan that. We knew by the end of the day, Monday, we were going to be here. By the end of the day, Tuesday, we were going to be here. And as long as we stuck to the pre-planning that we did on our job costing form, I could tell you exactly how much money we were going to make on each and every project. Don't take the bait. When the phone rings, for me at the time, I used to get pulled away. I worked for several remodeling contractors and GCs and home builders, and those were the people that were calling going, hey, I know we didn't have it planned today, but we're ahead of schedule. Can you go ahead and send that guy over and prime that basement for me today because we can get ahead of the schedule? And what do? We're nice guys, right? And we're like, oh yeah, no problem, no problem. Well, you're going to no problem yourself right into the fucking poorhouse if you do that. Here's the simple action for you to take today. Go to thecontractorfight.com/job costing, and there's a Google Sheets thing there. There's a left side and a right side to the sheet. The left side is how you think the job is going to go. The right side you fill in after the job is done. And so on your next project that you do, run what you think's going to happen through the left side of the sheet. and just fill it in. And then you look at it and go, okay, wow, if I keep everyone together and we accomplish this stuff and we hit the man hours and we keep on budget here, we're going to make 50%, we're going to make 55%, whatever it might be. Another cool thing is it also calculates what you should be charging for the job in order to make a 50% gross profit. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'm out.